room. This is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it. And she went down hard and was clearly in a lot of pain.
This is the play that just occurred. Sophie Cunningham battles for position under the rim, and then disaster. Bria Hartley loses balance, stumbles, and crashes directly into Sophie's right knee. You can see her immediately grab it, screaming, before collapsing to the floor. The arena goes silent. Fans are in shock. Sophie's teammates rush over. And the officials? Nothing. No whistle. No stoppage. Just play on. For many, this wasn't just an accident. It was the latest chapter in what feels like a disturbing pattern. The dangerous groin hit that sidelined Caitlin Clark, the infamous eye poke from Jacy Sheldon, the reckless foul by Marina Mabrey. Every matchup with the Connecticut Sun seems to end with someone on the Fever in pain, and frustration has boiled over. But here's the thing. Instead of folding, Indiana fought back. Behind Kelsey Mitchell's career-high 38 points, Odyssey Sims stepping in off a hardship deal, and Lexie Hull's clutch three, the Fever stormed to a 99-93 overtime comeback win no one thought possible. It was a game that looked finished by halftime. But somehow, the shorthanded Fever turned pain into power. If you support Sophie and the Fever, drop a heart in the comments to wish her a speedy recovery. Let's get into how this incredible turnaround happened.
Shot clock down to 6 for the Fever. Turner, up fade. Turner kicks it. Hull three-pointer. Bottom!
Indiana,
7 on the shot clock, 25 seconds in regulation.
they gotta get to the rim.
Charles has to hoist and connects. Wow. The Indiana Fever prove their resiliency.
Fever dub! Bow, bow, bow! Dub in the chat. Yeah. And the win goal!
The problem started before the opening tip. Indiana came into this game without all three of their true point guards. Caitlin Clark, still sidelined with a groin injury. Sydney Colson, out with a torn ACL. Ari McDonald, recovering from a broken foot. That left Stephanie White scrambling, forced to simplify the playbook and hope players could handle ball handling duties outside their comfort zones. And then came the collision.
After Phoenix, it was a quick turnaround to figure out, how we're going to play without, Ari and Sid. And now we got to figure out how we're going to play without Soph. And we've got to figure out, who can play in certain roles. What are our substitution patterns going to be? What kind of wrinkles can we throw out there? It doesn't get easier. And I think we come back and have Minnesota twice. Right, so it's really good mentally, physically, and emotionally for us, and then it gives us practice time, which we're going to need.
Midway through the second quarter, Sophie Cunningham was battling under the rim when Hartley's fall crashed directly into her knee. Sophie's toughness is legendary, but she only managed 10 minutes before trainers helped her off for good. The Fever lost not just her shooting, but her energy, her grit, and the spacing that holds their offense together. Suddenly, rotations were gutted. Players were logging minutes they weren't prepared for, and White's staff was left plugging holes wherever they opened. By halftime, Indiana trailed big. The game looked over. But what nobody realized was that the hardest moment of the night was also the turning point.
We got Sophie Cunningham writhing around in pain, definitely hurt. And Sophie's one tough cookie. If Sophie's kicking and screaming like this, no Will Farrell. She's in pain. We even have Connecticut Sun players. Look at that. Connecticut Sun players, Connecticut Sun training staff coming up to her as the Fever starts making their way down.
Cunningham's injury reignited outrage, not just from fans, but from her family. Sophie's sister Lindsay blasted the WNBA on social media, Maybe you should focus less on fining players for criticizing refs and more on protecting your athletes. Pathetic. Her mother, Paula, added fuel, calling Hartley mean and out of control. These weren't just emotional reactions. They echoed what Fever fans had felt for weeks, that their stars weren't being protected, that reckless fouls had become too common, and that officials weren't holding players accountable. That outrage became energy, and Indiana flipped the script.
Every day in our huddle, that's what we say together. And it's just more than words for us. I think when you see things happening, there's no other way. If you spread apart, the season goes down quicker than anything else. And we talk about with the injuries, people are probably expecting us to just fold, just like you said. And that's not us. We come in the locker room and we're motivated. We continue to be motivated every single time we step on that floor. At halftime, we're motivated, chip away. And that's our mindset. And just continue to uplift people. When one person goes down, we say it all the time, the next woman stands up. And that's really just been our motto and been what we've had to do a lot this season, and that's what we're just going to continue to do.
The comeback started with one player, Kelsey Mitchell.
An assassin, Kelsey Mitchell, has a new career high. Backdoor Mitchell bouncing in the paint for two. Kelsey Mitchell, the big is matched up. Mitchell squeezing through for two at the foul. Fouls on the other end. It's Mitchell launching it and connecting.
Quiet in the first half with just 4 points. Mitchell exploded after the break. She demanded the ball. She attacked every defender. She scored 34 points in the second half and overtime, finishing with 38, a career high and the most in the WNBA this season. Step-back jumpers, back-to-back threes, ice-cold free throws. Every possession carried weight, and Mitchell never flinched. By the end of the night, she wasn't just carrying Indiana. She was rewriting franchise history, passing Tamika Catchings with her 11th career 30-point game, and putting herself firmly in the MVP conversation. Caitlin Clark, watching from home, summed it up in 2 words: MVP Kels.
Your New England Ford dealers and the Ford Bronco family goat modes, the official SUVs of the Connecticut Sun. Mitchell connects.
Reading the defense and reckless closeout. So you have to make sure you let the shooter land here. Landing space needs to happen. Looks like Mitchell also clutching her leg here as well.
Regular close-out review. If it is, it's going to be just make one. Okay, go take one in.
But Mitchell wasn't alone. Odyssey Sims, signed just to keep the roster alive, looked like she'd been with the Fever all season. She scored 19, dished out 7 assists, and broke Connecticut's press again and again. Without her steadying hand, Mitchell never gets the ball in rhythm. Aaliyah Boston, a monster inside. 14 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Her 15th double-double of the season, a new Fever record. She extended possessions, reset the offense, and erased mistakes at the rim. Then came Lexie Hull. With 44 seconds left in overtime and Indiana clinging to a fragile lead, Hull slid into the corner and buried a 3 that slammed the door on the Sun. It was the dagger. Even Natasha Howard's bruising 18 and 9 mattered, as she muscled through defenders to keep Indiana from becoming one-dimensional. And Brianna Turner's defense in the second half forced extra passes that derailed Connecticut's rhythm. One by one, every player stepped into the void.
Mabrey knifes off the screen. Charles is doubled.
And Indiana looks like they're in a zone right now.
Kick out and stolen by Mitchell. Explodes 2-on-1. Sims elevates for 2 and a foul.
Bug with their point guards. This is where you have Odyssey Sims coming in. Kelsey Mitchell making a great heads-up play here, but Odyssey Sims has done a great job early on coming in.
From down 21 to a 99-93 overtime victory, the largest comeback in Fever history. Instead of collapsing under injuries, bad officiating, and frustration, the Fever turned it into fire. Mitchell's brilliance, Sin's leadership, Boston's dominance, Hull's dagger, Howard's muscle, Turner's defense. Together, they proved that this team cannot be dismissed. The message was clear. Resilience isn't just a word. It's how this team survives.
And that's what it's going to take. Okay, that's what it's going to take. We got to play free. We got to play with no pressure. But we fight. Live that resilience every day. And we will accomplish what we want to accomplish. Okay, come on.
Yeah. Here we go. Together, 3, 1, 2, 3. Together.
Indiana now sits firmly in the playoff hunt, still without Caitlin Clark, and now awaiting results on Cunningham's MRI. But one thing is undeniable. The Fever will never be counted out. If you support Sophie Cunningham, drop a heart in the comments to wish her a speedy recovery. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a moment.